The Trump administration has been no stranger to controversy, but recent events have raised serious questions about its respect for the rule of law. Across the country, courts are pushing back against the administration's policies, delivering a string of legal defeats. The Department of Justice, once seen as a bastion of legal expertise, is now facing accusations of overreach and incompetence. Why is the DOJ losing so many cases? What does it mean when a judge says, Nazis got better treatment? And what is the Alien Enemies Act, a law seemingly ripped from the history books, doing in the headlines today? These are not just academic questions. They go to the heart of our democracy, a system built on the principle of checks and balances. When one branch of government, in this case the executive branch, attempts to act unilaterally, it falls to the judiciary to rein it in. The recent court rulings against the Trump administration are a stark reminder that no one, not even the president, is above the law. As we delve into the specifics of these legal challenges, it's crucial to remember the broader context. The health of our democracy hinges on the ability of the courts to hold those in power accountable. In a Rhode Island courtroom, a federal judge rebuked the Trump administration's attempt to withhold funding from sanctuary cities. He accused them of acting with disregard for due process, even saying, Nazis got better treatment. This comparison underscored his severe concerns about executive overreach. Critics argue the administration tramples on individual rights and the rule of law. Defenders claim it's about enforcing laws and protecting security. The Alien Enemies Act is not a new law. It dates back to 1798, a time when the fledgling United States feared war with France. The law gives the president broad authority to detain and deport non-citizens from countries deemed hostile to the United States during times of war. For much of its history, the Alien Enemies Act lay dormant, a relic of a bygone era. However, the Trump administration has dusted it off, citing it as justification for some of its most controversial immigration policies. The administration argues that the law gives it the power to detain immigrants indefinitely without charge and to deport them without due process. The invocation of the Alien Enemies Act has sent chills down the spines of civil liberties advocates. They argue that the law is unconstitutional and that it gives the president far too much power to target individuals based on their nationality or origin. They point out that the law has been used in the past to justify the internment of Japanese Americans during World War II, a dark chapter in American history. The Trump administration's use of the Alien Enemies Act is part of a broader trend of invoking national security as a justification for curtailing civil liberties. This trend has raised serious concerns about the erosion of fundamental rights in the name of security. Unpacking the losses. Why is the Trump administration faltering in court? The Trump administration's legal woes go beyond immigration. From environmental regulations to healthcare policy, the administration has faced a steady stream of court defeats. There are several reasons for this losing streak. One factor is the administration's tendency to act unilaterally, often bypassing Congress or ignoring established administrative procedures. This approach has led to accusations that the administration is exceeding its authority and violating the separation of powers. Another factor is the administration's reliance on flimsy legal arguments, often based on a narrow or idiosyncratic reading of the law. Courts have been quick to point out these flaws, often issuing strongly worded opinions that criticize the administration's reasoning and motives. The administration's legal team has also been plagued by high turnover and a lack of experience, which may be contributing to its poor performance in court. Finally, it's worth noting that the Trump administration has pursued an unusually aggressive agenda, pushing the boundaries of executive power in a way that has alarmed many legal experts. This aggressiveness has inevitably led to more legal challenges, and the administration's track record suggests that it is ill-equipped to defend its actions in court. Public outcry and political fallout. The Trump administration's legal battles have not played out in a vacuum. They have sparked outrage and protests across the country, as people have mobilized to oppose what they see as an assault on the rule of law and the rights of vulnerable communities. The administration's immigration policies in particular have drawn widespread condemnation, with critics accusing the president of stoking xenophobia and cruelty. The Nazis got better treatment comment, though made by a judge, resonated with many Americans who see parallels between the administration's actions and the dark chapters of history. The political fallout from the administration's legal woes has been significant. The constant court battles have consumed time and resources, distracting from other priorities. they have also damaged the administration's credibility, making it harder to advance its agenda. The Democrats, emboldened by the administration's legal setbacks, have stepped up their attacks, accusing the president of being a threat to the Constitution. The legal challenges facing the Trump administration are not just about abstract legal principles. They're about real people's lives, and they have ignited a fierce debate about the nature of American democracy and the values it represents. The importance of judicial oversight. The Trump administration's repeated losses in court underscore the vital role of judicial oversight in a democracy. The judiciary, as an independent branch of government, is tasked with interpreting the law and ensuring that the other branches operate within their constitutional bounds. When the executive branch, as in this case, attempts to overstep its authority or violate individual rights, it falls to the courts to step in and act as a check on power. The framers of the Constitution recognized the potential for tyranny if any one branch of government became too powerful. They designed a system of checks and balances to prevent this, and the judiciary plays a crucial role in this system. The recent court rulings against the Trump administration demonstrate that this system, though imperfect, is still functioning. The courts have shown that they are willing to hold the executive branch accountable, even when it means facing intense political pressure. This willingness to stand up for the rule of law, even in the face of adversity, is essential to the preservation of our democracy. Navigating the tightrope. Enforcing policy in a democracy. The legal challenges facing the Trump administration highlight the complexities of enforcing controversial policies in a democracy. The administration came into office with an ambitious agenda, but it has often struggled to implement its policies in a way that respects the rule of law and the rights of individuals. The administration's tendency to act unilaterally, its reliance on questionable legal arguments, and its dismissive attitude towards the judiciary have all contributed to its legal woes. The lesson here is that governing in a democracy requires more than just winning elections. It requires building consensus, respecting the separation of powers, and adhering to the rule of law. The Trump administration's experiences serve as a cautionary tale, a reminder that even the most powerful executive in the world is not above the law. As the administration navigates the remaining years of its term, it would do well to heed the lessons of its legal battles. Governing in a democracy is a delicate balancing act, one that requires respect for the rule of law, a commitment to due process, and a willingness to work within the system of checks and balances. The future of our democracy may depend on it. What are your thoughts on this issue? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this video insightful, please like and subscribe for more content.